So, welcome, beautiful goddesses, to the Get Your Goddess Groove On radio show with me, Laura of Maven Star. And when the goddess speaks, everyone listens. So, welcome to our live call today. And glad that you're here. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. And so appreciate you being here with us today as we dive into another beautiful goddess healing conversation, bringing you different goddesses who are here to share their wisdom, their love, their support, their guidance that is so needed in the world today to help us all to get our goddess groove on and shine our priestess light, I like to say. So I'm super excited to welcome back a returning guest to our show today. Kayla Ma Morris is here with us, and she's been with us before, and she always brings such a beautiful wisdom and just a beautiful spirit, a loving spirit that she emanates from her soul, from her heart. So I'm so thrilled to have you back again today with us. And yeah, to talk about this really powerful modality that you've been sharing out in the world. And let me share just a little bit about Kayla Ma. She is a certified somatic breath practitioner with over 25 years of experience with a private practice here in the United States. In addition, she's a passionate life coach and intuitive guide who assists people of all ages to remember, reconnect, realign, renew, and open to the deeper wisdom and truth of their sovereign divinity. She has taught nationally for over 10 years. She's co-taught empowerment and facilitator trainings with the Power of Breath Institute. Her vision is for each and every living being to live freely with abundance, joy, and peace, with a profound, deep connection and knowing of their sovereign divinity. I just love that so much, Kayla Ma. That is just so in alignment with what is needed in the world today and here in this powerful time of change and yes, chaos. And yet amidst all that, that we can find our breath, that we can rediscover that powerful connection with our breath and our spirit. So, welcome back to the show and let's get started. So, where would you like to dive in first? Tell us what's been going on with you and your practice and your clients and what's coming in new for you that you're super excited to share with us today.
Thank you so much, Laura, for having me on your show again. And I'm so grateful to have an opportunity to share and speak about the power of the breath. Um, I think the most exciting piece right now for me is to see more and more people who are looking for another avenue to reconnect to themselves. To see people coming in who are saying, I don't even know who I am. I just feel so disconnected from myself. And it's exciting to see people questioning and asking and wanting something different, and how the breath is this very powerful but subtle energy in the body that supports us over time, because it took time to get to that disconnection that many of us are starting to feel, and reconnect us to our truth. And I think that's
Mhm.
also really powerful to see people asking, what's true? I want to know what's true. And the truth is exactly what you noticed about me. The truth is love. The truth is a spirit, a presence. That we are all divine Holy Spirits, every single one of us. And remembering that, I believe, is the key to real deep change.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I love what you're saying. And let's lean into that. I think that's a really going down that pathway into what you were saying that people are looking for truth today because we certainly have a lot of this chaotic energy swirling around us. And even for those of us who've been on the path for many years and we've been very devoted, we've been very doing our inner practices or any work, which is certainly everyone in this community, in our own ways, finding our own way, finding what is our truth, what resonates and rings true for me, because there are certain universal truths, like with universal divine laws, that we all are living under. However, there is our core truth, the truth in which includes our wisdom, which includes our personality, which includes our gifts, which includes our experiences. And all of that is like, to me, the way I love to look at it is my treasure chest. And today, when I open up my treasure chest, what kind of wonderful surprises and gifts and including love, including receiving more. And certainly with the breath, one of the things that I love, that when you did some breath sessions with me that were so powerful, were about really taking in and receiving and opening to receive that stream of breath, which is our soul essence, that to me is the breath. It is our love light connection. And let's talk about that and how your work really supports people to breathe deeply and to reconnect with their breath, their essence, their spirit. Because I think certainly today, with the chaos, we can all have a tendency to become scattered. We have a tendency to start to become ungrounded in our bodies. We may have a tendency to, just through distractions and busyness of life, that we can feel like we're getting pulled out of this body, or we're getting pulled out of this really deep connection that's always ever present within us. Maybe we could talk about, what are you doing to help your clients to really dive deep into anchoring into their breath and really using the breath to receive and empowerment through that connection? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. How easy it is to get discombobulated with everything that's happening, not only in the outside world, but in the internal worlds. Most of us have so much monkey mind activity. Our mind is always chatting to us in our internal worlds, and all of our energy ends up being up here in our heads. And I think that what I've realized over 26 years of sitting with myself in this work and sitting with others is that's where the suffering is. The suffering is in the mind activity, and how we're always trying to understand everything, we're always trying to figure out everything. We're trying to make everything so right and perfect and figure out what's wrong. So I begin with my clients, just meeting them wherever they are with no judgment. You are where you are. Blessing them with the power of love. And then looking at their breath. The breath is an enormous education about yourself. If you're unclear as to where your energy is, where your focus of attention is, you can actually find it in the map of how you're breathing. And this still fascinates me. So, for instance, a whole and healthy breath begins in your lower belly. It begins in that place that Laura supports people to open up. It begins in the womb. It begins in the perineum, and breathing in really deeply into that space helps us to reconnect to the divine essence of our soul light. And why is that? Because the truth is, we are being breathed. The divine is breathing us with every breath. We are so loved and so supported through the doorway of our breath. This is why it is the key. So for me, for example, when I first stepped into this work, was not breathing in my lower body at all. I had lower back pain. I had all kinds of things going on with my reproductive system. I had intestinal stuff, stomach stuff. I just had so many emotions that I was carrying around all day, not only from my present reality, but from the past. Not, I didn't really understand what had happened to me. I just experienced it and I went on with life. So that's the beginning place. It's just simply looking at your breath. Where is it beginning in your body? For instance, I had a new person yesterday. She began her breath in her upper chest. That's where I began my breath. I wanted to take care of everyone. I wanted to make sure everybody was okay. So I was always in that place of giving, nurturing, caring, noticing. What do you need? Who are you? And that disconnected me from my own awareness, not only of my body, but of my needs, of who I was outside of that personality that I had developed over my lifetime of growing up. So that's the beginning place. And then when she laid on the massage table to begin this breath, now this is a very conscious, intentional breath that we're doing in this practice. And it's a therapy. It's a therapy. It helps us to emotionally regulate. Most of us don't feel emotionally regulated. I'm going to an early education services. They're serving people who, children, young children who have parents that are drug addicts and alcoholics, and they live in environments that are very challenging. We see more and more of this in our worlds. And one of the questions they're asking is, how do I regulate? I have all of this that's going on with my children all day long. How do I regulate myself? The breath is the most powerful way to regulate your emotional self. So she laid on the table, and the first place we began is the lower belly. So, what do I mean by the lower belly? If you put your hands on your hip bones and point your fingers down, that's your lower belly, your perineum. This is the place where the breath is designed to be welcomed in. This
Mhm.
is where your creative center is. This is where you can integrate your emotional energy. Most people who get nervous or anxious, there's a couple of things that are going on. They're saying, my heart is beating really fast. My brain is super incoherent, and I'm just shaking. And why is that? Because there's no grounding force in the body, there's no embodiment happening in that moment. Just like a tree, if a tree didn't have roots, now I live in an area where there's tall trees. If these trees didn't have roots, a storm would come through, and that's your emotions, and they would just fall over. So
Mhm.
opening the breath in this area of your body, your hips, your pelvis, your lower belly, and your sacrum, over time starts to change your breathing pattern of, for me, for this woman, breathing in her upper chest. And also, there's a number of brainwave activity shifts that happen as we are connecting our breath. And why is that? If you're breathing from your lower belly, you're going to activate your vagal nerve. Now, the vagal nerve is the largest nerve in your body. It goes through every major system, and it ends in your brain stem, which is where your nervous system is, your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. You activate the vagal nerve, and you will shift your body into a calm, relaxed state. This is really important, and it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating to me still, how the body is designed in relationship to breath and our breathing. So did I change that in my pattern? Did I change that in one breath session? No. That took probably a year for me to learn. And when I first started, I didn't even know what my facilitator was talking about. They was continually, I had so disconnected from my body that I had no connection to my lower body at all. So I had to put weights on my lower belly. I had to remind myself to begin my breath here. But over time, what I noticed was I was more able to navigate my present reality and to begin to integrate all the experiences I had emotionally, mentally, physically from the years before I stepped into this work, because emotional regulation and emotional intelligence are intelligences of the heart. And that's the other piece that begins to open, because when we're up here a lot and our energy is all in our head, the heart does not feel safe to be fully present. We go into defense patterns. We want to defend our hearts. Many people who come to me, their shoulders are up and they're protecting. Why? Because they've had heartache. They've had experiences that have impacted them deeply. So, beginning and learning how to breathe in an open, healthy breath will begin to relax the heart, slow down the monkey mind, because you're actually going into higher brainwave patterns. We do this breath with an open mouth. And why? Because you want to bring in as much oxygenation into the body as possible. You want to invite prana. Now, what is prana? Prana in Sanskrit means life force energy. So you increase the life force energy in your body, you are increasing the frequency. Uh, and you increase the frequency, and you are going to be able to shift and integrate trauma.
So true. So very true what you're talking about and what you're saying. And I loved what you said about the heart because I know on my own journey, and a lot of people do have this really heavy monkey mind effect going on, which we're not going down the rabbit hole today, but there are a lot of theories around why is that. And we've done a lot of inner work to shift those monkey patterns. And yet they can be quite strong. So the answer, the key, like you said, is the breath and connecting to the breath and bringing the breath and following the breath down. And I love what you said about opening and really opening up the body is softening into the body, opening up for the flow. And the breath is a beautiful vehicle to begin to work in your meditation, to open up that flow. And I don't know that I was ever a chest breather. I may have been a chest breather in the beginning because when you're in an environment like a corporate environment or any kind of environment where there's a lot of tension and stress and production going on, right? There's a lot of production and we just in a lot of hurrying and pushing and producing and all those kind of things and do a lot, right? I think if you look at a belly of a baby, you look at a baby naturally breathes from the belly, right? And then
Yeah,
over time, we forget how to breathe that way, and we have to relearn how to breathe that way. But absolutely is totally the truth and such powerful because in the womb work I teach, we do use the breath as the tool, as one of the tools to bring that breath down, to fill our lungs, to open the heart, to bring the breath down into the womb and down into the yoni and down to clear those emotions that are there, to clear those out that you're speaking of, and to really opening up the body to receive our spirit instead of just getting cut off right here at the head, right? It's like
yeah,
having your head literally cut off and then the rest of your body is screaming like, hey, I'm down here. Hey, don't forget me, you know?
yeah,
And
absolutely. Yeah, I had a
yeah,
client tell me once that she felt like a walking, talking head.
I
I said,
believe it. I
"Oh,
believe it.
that is so appropriate."
It really is. And so let's dive into this therapeutic somatic breathing because I know there's different types of breathing techniques out there. And tell us more about why did this particular technique resonate for you and how have you worked with it? Or obviously you're getting very powerful results, but can you tell us more about how that works so that people understand the mechanics of it and what they could expect in having a session with you or learning more about it?
Hmm. Yeah. An actual breath session, we are intentionally going in and focusing on our breathing. We are inhaling and exhaling. So we're actually connecting the inhale to the exhale. We're dropping our exhale. We're not letting our exhale out all the way. The inhale represents all of your beauty, all of your intelligence, all of your wisdom that you're allowing in. with each inhale, and the exhale represents letting go. When I first started this work, I had so much tension in my jaw, and I was exhaling like it was so hard for me to let go. I was taught to be in control, basically. And I'm facilitating your breath as you are connecting your inhale to your exhale. And how am I facilitating your breath? If I see no breath in your lower belly, then I'm going to focus my attention there. Whether it's in a virtual session, I would be guiding you with my voice, or it's in person, I'd be putting my hand on your lower belly. And any place you bring touch, the breath is going to come into that area of your body. And your
Mm-hmm.
hips, I might put my hands on your hips. I might put my hands on your sacrum, right? If it's a virtual session, I might invite you to get into the child's pose. Focus on your sacrum and the backside of your hips, welcoming the breath into that space. Now, what does this create? First of all, as I said earlier, you are increasing the prana in your body. That means you're increasing the frequency. Now, that is going to affect a number of things, and you're stimulating your vagal nerve. So, the combination of those two things are going to bring your brain into different wavelengths or wave patterns. Now, Dr. Joe Dispenza's work has been all about this. He is actually has scientists that are putting brain, can't think of the name, nodes on people, and they're looking at what's going on with the brain waves as they're doing these meditations. And so you go through delta is when you're totally awake and conscious. Right? Alpha is when you're relaxed and calm. Alpha also often comes in when we're like hanging out, watching TV at the end of the day, having our no relaxation time, meditation, alpha brain waves. The brain will go into alpha brain waves. Theta is a deeper alpha. So this is when also meditation, this is the creative brain. Theta is the creative brain. When you go into some kind of creative space, and then gamma is the fastest brain wave. Now, when you are in a connected breath session, many people, myself included, will talk about deeper levels of relaxation. Their body starts to begin to let go. And why is that? You're activating your vagal nerve, your brainwave activity is shifting, and there's so much more science to this. I'm just giving you like some basics. There's lots of things that go on during breath session. But what happens is we go into an unconscious state. Now, it's not an unconscious state where you're not conscious of what's going on. It's a deeper, relaxed state so that what? So that the mind activity starts to slow down. I have myself included and other people that I've worked with, inspiration comes in, wisdom comes in. All of a sudden they realize, oh my gosh, this is what was really happening, or of a vision. Often I have visions that come into breath sessions. And so, what do I mean by that? Before we began, Laura asked me, oh, can you remind me how to say your name? My name is Kayla Ma. And she asked me, was this like the childhood name that you were given? No, this name came to me in a breath session. And I was connecting my breath, and my body got to such a relaxed state. There was no thinking going on in my conscious self. And I had a visual. And the visual was I saw this man, and behind him was this azure pool of water. Now, I love water. And I just wanted to get up and go to that water. Now, this is a guide that I have seen many times in my lifetime. He's either an older man or a younger Native American man. So what I heard within myself, and these weren't thoughts, that were happening. It was just all of a sudden a message came through. And sometimes people describe channeling this way, right? We're all channels, every single one of us. You allow your body to relax, you allow your nervous system to begin to process and integrate. You go into the higher frequencies that the breath creates, more prana in your body. Go into this higher brainwave activity, and you will be connecting to a wider part of yourself. And this is what our heart is connected to. So I hear these words that say, oh, there is a gift for you, but not now. So then I heard the person who was facilitating, because I was in a group of colleagues and we took turns facilitating the breath session. Oh, it's time to return. So then I drive home, and on my way home, I just all of a sudden want to pull over to the side of the road, and I heard Kalima. It was like there was no thinking that was happening in my mind. And I felt the vibration of the words in my body. This is also what a lot of people talk about who I've worked with over the years. They talk about that they actually have a visceral feeling in their somatic means body mind, that they don't question the truth, that either a wisdom comes through or a feeling comes through, or all of a sudden there's a release, whether it's through tears or just the body relaxes and lets go. And I was so excited because oh my goodness, I just love this. I love Kalima. And I knew I was going to change my name. I just knew it. And so
Wow.
these sounds together, I believe, are my soul essence,
Hmm.
because we are all soul, we are all sound and light. And these are the precursors or the foundations of the frequencies of love.
Absolutely. And I just love that name. And I was just reflecting on your name before we got together, and I said, oh my goodness, I never noticed that you've got like Kali energy, which is also a mother energy and a powerful energy. And then you've got Ma in your name. And I'm like, how perfect, how divine is that? It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful name. I love it. And thank you for sharing that story with us. And that experience is really, it's powerful because in those moments when we have those experiences like you're describing, where you had to pull over to the side of the road and there was a space, there was an openness there of just being open to receive that beautiful name and from yourself. It was like a gift, like out of the treasure chest almost. And we all can have those divine, to me, that's a divine mystical experience, right? It's not something that we sit down and we go, oh, I'm going to call in my spiritual name or I'm going to set an intention necessarily. You can do that. You can certainly do that. Absolutely. And intentions are powerful. When they come in those moments like that, to me, that is just pure gnosis, it's just pure and it's
Yeah,
innocent and it's there's no doubt in your body, in your being, in your wholeness. You're like, yep, that's me. That's me. And it's so inspirational, like you're saying. And I just love it when those moments can come in for all of us. And y-
absolutely. And I'm not
yeah.
unique in that way. This we have access. We always do,
Hmm.
to the wider wisdom, intelligence of the divine. We are not separate from this wisdom. And I love what you said, the innocence, because childhood innocence is an intelligence of the heart. Now, when your heart, the other piece that therapeutic breath, somatic breath encourages and inspires is coherence, coherence in the heart, coherence in the brain. Now, scientists have been studying the heart and the brain for centuries, and the recent science is discerning, oh, it's the heart that is the master, not the brain. But the conditioning that we get in this humanity teaches us that if we have an active brain, if we are always trying to keep ourselves safe, if we're always trying to understand everything, we're going to create safety and build trust. What I have recognized over 26 years of supporting people is that's a formula for mental illness. That is a formula for disconnection. What the breath allows is a space, a sacred space of unity and relaxation and integration that basically supports what? Your inner connection to your heart's intelligence. And this inspires heart coherence, which then inspires brain and mental wellness. I've worked with many people who are on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications and talk about how disconnected they feel from their bodies and their emotions, and they don't want to be on these anymore. That great success with people stepping in, learning how to open the breath in the body, experiencing true relaxation, and what emotional regulation really is. Awakening emotional intelligence, because emotions are a guidance system. They're not meant to be fixed, changed, controlled, or gotten rid of. They're information. And this is why many people will say, oh my God, I just felt that viscerally in my body. That was my experience when, and I had never heard the name Kalima ever in my reality. It's not like it was a name that I heard and it was there. I had never heard of it. And when I shared with people that I changed my name, they were just like, where in the world did you get that name? This is what you're talking about. That's the mystical, which is available and accessible much more easily than we believe or know.
Absolutely. Just such wisdom in just what you said. Just amazing goddess wisdom there. And I'd love to dive in that a little bit more about it's not about controlling our emotions. It's not about regulating the emotions. It's allowing the emotions to flow through the body fully, to not try to, because then if we're trying to repress those emotions, and that's where we create blockages in the body and in the chakras and the meridians and in all of the energy centers. And then we do start to have problems. And so that has been part of the conditioning of society for many hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. I think probably just about every culture around the world. You can't emote. You've got to repress it unless you became an artist or a musician and you found creative ways to allow that to move into the creative portal. It's just been my observation, but people who are very left brain focused naturally, nothing wrong with that. But I've just noticed that they seem to be more tendencies, let's say it that way, to be ungrounded or to be just trying to be operating from that little mental, just the mental at all without realizing, oh, I have an emotional body, I have a physical body, I have a spiritual body, and I don't have to live in this little narrow box. I can expand beyond that. And I think that's part of the journey to reclaiming the wholeness and beginning to live from the wholeness in every way we can. I feel life creator source wants us to live fully with passion. Passion doesn't mean we're getting rid of our emotions.
Oh
Passion
my goodness.
passion means including our emotions, right?
Yes, it's the opposite, actually. When I had so many emotions and was so dysregulated when I started this journey of the breath, and now I notice an emotion comes through, it's there. I have the capacity to be in it, whether it's grief or it's anger or it's sadness or it's joy or it's lightness or it's ease. I have the capacity now to be with it, to feel it, to allow it to move through me. I truly believe and know that the breath taught me that, because before the breath, I did not know how to do that. And so many times I wanted to either suppress what I was feeling or dramatize what I was feeling because I just wanted it to like be gone. So I went from either one end to the other end, one end to the other end. And now it comes through and I have the capacity to breathe with it, to be with it's an education. It's giving me information. Information about what? For instance, I had a granddaughter that died when she was 3 months old. And I went into 3 days of being in my bed. I felt this so deeply, not only for myself as her nana, but also for my son and his wife. And for this beautiful granddaughter that I didn't even get to meet in person because she was in the hospital the whole time and it was COVID. But all of that was there. And what I have learned is that my emotions are a guidance system. So being in my bed was the perfect place for me. And allowing the tears to show up and breathing, and allowing the tears to show up and breathing, and the anger to show up and breathing. And I love my daughter in love, I call her, 'cause she came to me through marriage and she brought some food over to me, I don't know, the second day. And she came into my room and she said, "Can I do anything for you?" And I just told her, "I've just been in my bed." She said, "Oh, that's the perfect place to be." Now, how many of us hear that? No, we hear, put that aside. You get maybe 1 day or 2 days, and then you're supposed to pull it all together and go back out into your life. This, that formula I lived in for many years of my life didn't work. It created more contraction. And what you're speaking about is, the chakras, but also we hold these energies in our tissues, in our organs. This is where true disease begins. This is where true disease, this is what Louise Hay's work was about. She
Mm-hmm.
was making connections between
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in your body physically and what is that body part telling you. So for instance, I had colon cancer and I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot from it. I learned that all these patterns that I was doing, and that was part of not breathing for years in my lower belly, my lower body. Now, the intestinal tract is your emotional center.
Mm-hmm.
Your stomach, your intestines, this is your emotional center. This is why people who are in anxiety say, I can't eat. Or people who are just about to go into a presentation, many of them will say, "Oh, my stomach is killing me," or "I've got butterflies." Why? Because this is your emotional center. So bring the breath into your emotional center. Let it be the cleanser. Let it be the clearer of these emotions that have been stored in your tissues.
Yes, I love that. There is a book I have about feelings never die. And there's two books, I can't remember the author's name, but she talks about that. The issues are in the tissues, literally, of our body.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful message and a powerful work because we're meant to fully immerse or integrate our divinity, our spirit in with this beautiful body. This is a body, a temple, a sacred vessel, a temple, a gift. It's
Mm.
part of being here to be in the physical. I don't think that creator, source creator, I believe source creator, this was meant to be a gift to come into the body to experience wholeness and love and joy in life and live it fully, not with pain and suffering. I don't feel like that was the original intent. I feel like we were here, we're in a spirit body and everything is perfect, but now we come into the physical body, we're here to experience what it's like to have a physical body and be able to touch the earth and smell the roses and be able to be in water. And what does that feel like? And really have these beautiful senses. And so I love what you're saying. You've been
Well,
sharing so many beautiful experiences about yourself and your clients. And I know we're going to have time to take a few questions here. If you have questions, just feel free to type those into the chat box here. And before we go further, and I think, are you going to take us through a breath session today? Is that right as well?
Yes, yeah, a little mini breath session. Yep.
Okay. So just let me know when you're ready to do that, and we can go into that here in a few minutes. I did want to go back to when you referenced the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza and the states of the brain.
Yep.
And I'd love to talk a little bit more about that brain and heart coherence, or how what you're doing, the work that it, you're bringing people into the theta state is what I'm feeling when you work with them one on one, correct? With the breathing,
Yes.
you're is that the
And
goal?
sometimes into the gamma state.
Oh, okay, okay.
I've had experiences where I've remembered past lives, and I'm in the
Mhm,
gamma brain waves. And this is where Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, this is what he's seeing. When people move from theta
mhm,
into gamma, this is where the change happens. This is where the change happens in the body, physical body, because he has many people that are coming and doing his workshops that have serious imbalances in their bodies, Parkinson's, many different things. This is where the change really happens. And I've had many breath sessions that where I've gone into that gamma state. And that state is where there is there is no separation. Often people will say
mhm,
to me, I don't know where I was, but I was somewhere. And it felt so clear, and it felt so open, and I felt so connected. This is the
mhm,
gamma brainwave state. I believe this is really where we are, the frequencies of the brain that we are meant to be vibrating in is theta and gamma. And
mhm,
when more I experience theta and gamma states, the more peaceful and connected and centered I felt in my body. I had a client a couple weeks ago that was saying to me, I'm doing these meditations on YouTube and they're asking me to like connect to my center. She said, what is that? I don't know what that is. I haven't experienced that. And I said to her, yeah, that's how I felt. And now she's beginning to experience that in the breath. She said after that breath session, she said, I felt like there was something there besides my thinking. And I said, oh, that's profound. That's profound. So, brain and heart coherence. What does that mean? It means that when the brain is in a coherent brainwave. Now, many people who experience dysregulation emotionally, where they experience monkey mind activity, and this I think is across our humanity, they are
mhm,
dysregulated. There isn't a coherent state in their being, in their body, their physical body, because when the brain is in an incoherent state, then it can't send out the signals to your organs, to your tissues, to your muscles to do what those tissues, muscles are meant to do, because it's all being regulated by the brain and the heart together. It's not one or the other. And so, if the brain is irregulated, then the heart is also irregulated. Now, when we go through a big heart experience, which could just be going to a movie, sitting in a movie theater, and it brings up all these past emotions, all these things that we begin to question ourselves or doubt ourselves,
mhm,
that will bring the heart into an irregulated space. So, that's an irregulated heartbeat. Anxiety brings you into an irregulated heartbeat. Worry brings you into an irregulated heartbeat. Why? Because the heart does not want to be present in something that feels not whole. The heart wants to be in wholeness, right? Wants to be able to express its beauty and its love. So, this is what
mhm,
breathing helps us and supports us to come into a
mhm.
coherent heart and a coherent brain state.
Yes, beautifully said. And I actually just yesterday was looking at a video by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I've been wanting to study his work. And I've been led to study that now because what's interesting about this has been so much really wonderful research by Dr. Joe and other people in this field of the heart and the brain coherence, right?
Yeah.
Which is the way that I've been shown by my own higher guides in the way of my own journey was to bring that divine light that we are, we're light, sound, and vibration into this body that is our spirit, our soul. And it all starts with bringing it down this way from into the crown and then the third eye and then down to the throat and then gradually immersing it all the way down into the body and integrating our soul light with the physical body. So this was the journey that I took to opening the heart, creating that brain and heart coherence field was the first part of the journey. And then what happened was then going lower into the lower chakras and specifically into the womb chakra and beginning to work with because as women we see the world and we actually bring the world in through our womb and then we give out through our hearts and our breast are how we give to the world and this is how we operate. So what's interesting is that I feel like the next field of evolution to this whole heart brain heart coherence field that I've gotten a little inklings of is that there also is another coherence field that we're just beginning to remember and awaken between the heart and the womb, because there is a heart inside the womb.
Yeah.
And the heart and the womb are actually mirrors of each other. They're actually twin chakras.
Yes, they
So
are.
my body is going, yes, this is truth. And I'm super excited for this new frontier of now we're getting entrained with the brain and the heart coherence. We're using the powerful tool of the breath. And now we're going to entrain that breath, like you're teaching people how to bring that down into the belly, to bring it down to the perineum, which is going to help to create, I think, that coherence field you're talking about. It's going to bring that whole state of the central core of our body into, like you're saying beautifully, that theta state or even that gamma state where we're living in wholeness, we're living in peace, right? We're living without any feelings of separation from our divinity, from our soul. What are your thoughts on that, or what comes up for you? Is
Yes,
any
it's the marriage. It's the marriage.
Mhm,
It's the marriage of the body, the temporal body that is feeling all these feelings and having all this experience. That's your lower chakras. And those chakras are contracted in a lot of emotion and they're contracted in a lot of trauma,
mhm,
then we are not going to feel safe to marry, even if you do a lot of practices that are opening up your crown chakra, like you were saying, and bringing that energy down. You're not going to be able to integrate it into your heart space if the heart is in an incoherent, irregulated space. It's just not going to happen. It didn't happen for me. And I have been doing practices for years of my life. It wasn't until I began to open the breath in those lower chakras where I was
mhm,
holding so much contraction, so much doubt. I had disconnected from trusting my own inner wisdom. I didn't feel safe. Safety and trust are essential for the heart to feel like it can be present and open. Now, the Heart Math Institute has been studying heart coherence for years. Bessel van der Kolk, he's a psychiatrist, he's got a PhD. His book is called The Body Keeps the Score.
mhm,
We hold all of this in our tissues and opening the doorway to allow for safe, processed integration is the key. Midwives, that's how I see myself. I'm a midwife with the breath, coaching people little by
mhm,
little into a space of relaxation and ease reconnecting to their inner wisdom, redeveloping the inner landscape of trust and safety, which lives in this creative center of the room. And what I love
Absolutely.
about Dr. Joe Dispenza's work is he is marrying spirituality and science, because
Mm-hmm.
I listen to him. These are things that he's talking about that I have seen for years and years in myself and in others. I've seen people heal physically, myself included. I've seen people come into emotionally, mentally, physically active life force connection. Yes, we are meant to live and enjoy our lives. That doesn't mean that hard feelings don't come in, but it means that we have the capacity to allow the heart to process those feelings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Yes. And the womb center, which is the sacral chakra connection, is to me the place where we hold a lot of our unprocessed emotions. And what I've seen is this is where the trauma is. This is trauma, of course, exists in other parts of the body, the tissues, the organs, the fascia. But it's interesting how if we're not breathing fully, we're not belly breathing like we were when we were born as a baby, and all this trauma gets activated and triggered, and we have these unprocessed emotions that we're really not living fully in our body. We're not really fully living our passion. We're living in an incomplete way with halfway or however you want to look at it. I really do feel that this coherent state that we're talking about is so super important to remember, to get in touch with, to bring into our way of living and fully, living full out and breathing properly, bringing the breath down into those tissues, into those areas of the body are super, super important. So I love, love, love all of this. So,
Yeah, what I love about the breath is it's got that magical component to it. You
yeah.
can to continually dipping yourself into the higher frequencies, and you will notice that it's just this what you're talking about naturally happens. It just naturally happens. Sometimes people will say, "Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing that my husband just got really angry and was screaming and yelling at me." And I was
Mm.
calm. I was actually okay. And I could breathe. Whereas before I couldn't breathe at all. Now,
Yes.
well, I studied childbirth for years. And what many midwives and obstetricians discerned that is if women are not breathing, they will not be able to bring forth this life they are bringing forth.
Mm.
That the
Wow.
breath was a key to opening the cervix. It was a key. A relaxed jaw, making sound was a key to opening the cervix so that life could come through. So
Yes.
with each breath, you are birthing your beautiful life. You are birthing your divine holy plan. However, if your breath is shut down, you're not breathing in your lower belly, you're contracting in different areas of your body, your heart is defended and offended, it's
Mm.
going to be difficult to connect to that beauty that you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted that for years of my life. Years
Yes, me
of my
too.
life.
Absolutely. And I noticed too that we always say the gut, the gut to me is the sacral chakra, is the root
Yeah.
chakra, is the second brain in the body.
Yes.
And one of the things I noticed that spirit showed me was all the patterns that my mom, the mental patterns that she was moving through over and over, and that a lot of us move through and ancestrally get repeated. All those patterns were also existing not only in the brain at the mental, but in her womb. And that's why they kept getting created over and over again. So it wasn't about just removing them from the mental level. You have to remove them from every level, which includes the physical body, which is what you're talking about, which is bringing the
Yeah.
breath into the tissues, into the lower
Yeah.
half of the body. is
Yeah.
so super important in this work. And yet so many people are afraid, I think, and I've taught where women are afraid to even remember the womb or go towards the womb because of all the pain and the suffering that we still hold there. And yet, this is not going to serve us anymore as women or men, because we have to move through this area and heal it and bring the wholeness there, bring the spirit, bring the breath there in order to open that full creative flow. So, like you were saying in the
Absolutely.
beginning about
Yeah.
the feminine and the flow.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Okay, so we're at the top of the hour, and would it be okay to experience a breathing meditation for a few minutes here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to
So just
turn it over to you and
thank you.
let you guide us through that.
Yeah. Okay, so allow your body to get into a relaxed position and bring your attention to your breathing. Just gently noticing how, as you inhale, whatever area of your body is lifting up, expanding, no judgment. We're not trying to be perfect here. We're just trying to focus and to learn. Now take a full deep breath, as full as you can. Inhaling all the way up and bring your shoulders up to your ears. And hold that inhale. Hold it and let go of your shoulders. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale as fully as you can. All the way up. Shoulders up to your ears. Hold it. Let go. And 1 more time. Inhaled all the way up. Shoulders up to your ears. Hold it. Let go. Good. Now let your body soften a little bit more. Maybe you lean back in your chair. Now we're going to focus on your lower belly. Now remember, your lower belly is right above your pubic bone. You can put your hands there. And we're going to be inviting the breath into this space. Your hips, your sacrum, your womb space. Relax your jaw as much as you can. We often hold a lot of tension in our jaws. Let your shoulders soften. And begin, we're going to begin to connect your breath. That means we are inhaling and letting the exhale go. And I'll be breathing also with you. So we're inhaling and letting go. Now, maybe you don't feel much movement in your lower belly. That's okay. Just keep your focus of attention there on your womb, on your hips, and welcome the inhale. Let it go. You don't have to breathe quickly. Just find a rhythm for yourself. Inhaling, letting go. Now remember, we're just dropping the exhale. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Focusing your attention in your body, in your belly. Inhaling, letting go. Don't worry so much about what your breath is doing. Just keep connecting the breath. Inhaling, letting go. Find a rhythm for you. Maybe it's not along with the words that I'm saying. Just find your own rhythm of inhale to exhale. Inhaling, letting go. Now, whatever thoughts are coming through, you just be a witness and stay focused in your body. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, keep going. Inhaling, letting go. Now we're going to make a very low ah sound. 3 breaths. Inhaling, let it go. Inhaling, letting go. Now in this breath, inhale, and we're making a very low ah sound. We're doing this together. Inhale. Good. Now again, find your inhale. Inhale all the way up. Low ah sound. And one more time. Find your inhale. Good. Beautiful. Now back to your breath. Inhaling, letting go. Just notice how you feel. Inhaling, letting go. Focusing, remember, on your lower belly, just above your pubic bone. Inhaling, letting go. Welcome your room space, creative space of all life, connected to the mother of all life. With each breath, you are enlivening this connection to the divine Holy Spirit of all life. We call the mother. Feel the expansion. Feel the opening. Each inhale. Let your exhale relax a little more. Just let go. Soft. You are never alone. You are always loved. Inhaling, letting go. Now allow your inhale to expand. Let the exhale relax a little more. And there's a peace building within you, a peace of all is well. Your life is perfect and beautiful. All experiences are for you. You are loved so tremendously, so deeply, so beautifully. For all your expressions. Keep breathing. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Allow yourself to go into your heart space. Keep breathing from your lower belly. Now we're going to allow the lower belly, the womb, to connect to your heart. Bring in a memory when you felt so loving, so connected, and whatever you were experiencing that just opened you up. Feel that space of your beautiful heart. And we're visualizing a light connecting your womb, your lower belly, to your heart. It's just a string of light. Keep breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Your heart is expanding with each breath beyond your body. You are a star of light, a unique fingerprint of love. Feel it. Feel it now. Allow, relax, breathe. Now allow this love light to expand and encompass your whole body, from your feet to above your head. Still connecting your breath, inhaling, letting go. Experience the love light of your being, of your divine Holy Spirit, grounding and breathing from your lower belly, connected to your heart, expanding the light of love that you are. Just feel and breathe. You feel the beauty of your spirit. You don't have to understand it, just feel it. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Embrace, expand. This is your Christ consciousness. Your unique fingerprint of love. Inhaling, letting go. Feel your inhale expand again. Whole body is breathing from your lower belly through down to your legs and feet, up through your abdomen, your diaphragm, into your heart, into your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your brain, your head, all of your chakras, all of your tissues and muscles, organs, breathing, receiving, allowing, resting. Just breathe. There's nothing to do right now but breathe, receive. Let your body rest a little more. Relax your legs and your arms and your hands. Inhaling, letting go. Inhaling, letting go. Beautiful flowing breath. Mother of all life, teach me how to trust. Open my heart, my intuition, my inner knowing. Bless my spirit, as I know I am already blessed. Teach me how to open to the sacred space of the breath. This wisdom already lives in my body. Open with each inhale. Trust you are being breathed. Let go. Good. Now inhale all the way up, top of your head. Hold your breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Let go. Again, inhale all the way up. Hold it up top. Hold it. Let go. And one more time. Inhale all the way up. Hold it at top. Hold it. Let go. Good. Then gently begin to feel your body and notice your breath.
Beautiful, very powerful. Thank you so much for that beautiful breathing, meditation, and prayer with included. That was amazing. Very powerful. I felt my whole body breathing from head to toes.
Yay!
Whole body breath. It was amazing. Beautiful, blissful energy rolling in. And I
Mm.
love what you said about life is breathing through us, and life is breathing us. And if we'll just let go and focus more on the beauty that life wants to bring us, the joy, the abundance, the good things we're all wanting more of, and leaning into that and into gratitude for that, and just letting go and letting that beautiful breath of space and love fill us up. What an amazing way to live. What an amazing life, right?
Yeah,
And
my life just keeps getting more and more beautiful and more
yes,
expanded.
we don't have to figure it all out. We don't have to pick ourselves and park ourselves and overthink things about problems. We can just do this beautiful practice, and we can just be. And we're going into that time. The feminine is about receiving and about being more present and just being with ourselves in this beautiful new way, with this beautiful breathing meditation you taught us today. So, what a gift. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Kayla Ma. So,
thank you.
I'll check and see if there's any questions in the chat box. And let me also point out that Kayla Ma is giving a very generous special offer today for anyone who would like to work with her directly in a private session. She is gifting our community a 25% off discount, very generous, on a 2-hour introductory virtual session. And I put her email in here, lovingspirit1, the number one, at gmail.com, and just reach out to her for details. And you can have your own personal, beautiful, therapeutic breathing and somatic session with her. And I've had very powerful sessions with her. So I can tell you she is amazing. She's an expert. You're in really wonderful, beautiful hands. And I feel
Oh,
so safe with you. And that's one of the key components to healing is we've got to feel safe in the body,
yeah.
and we've got to trust. So I highly recommend scheduling a session with Kayla Ma and getting started to really helping you to become more grounded in the body. But becoming more grounded in the body doesn't mean that you're living in constant pain or disarray or chaos. You're actually coming into a harbor of more joy and love and abundance and happiness and peace. That's where we find it. And I love the body keeps the score. The body knows, and we work with the body. You work with the body wisdom as well. So, what an amazing call today. And before we close, is there any final words of wisdom or anything you'd like to share or say to our community before we close?
I think just a very deep gratitude for the continued journey of the breath and all I have learned and grown into myself and all that my clients have taught me over the years, and that the connection of the beauty that grows within us as long as we can learn to let go and relax and create that safe container again. That's a key piece. And I build safety and trust not only through the doorway of the energy fields of my heart, but connecting with the energy fields of the people that I work with. And it creates a bond that I had a lovely client who moved out of this country, and she knew that we weren't going to be able to do virtual sessions for a while, and she had worked in person with me. And she said, how does one leave this kind of care?
Mm.
And I said, the breath is awakened within you. And that is the care of the divine Holy Spirit, which you are always connected to. And she just cried. She knew the truth of that. Yeah, I invite everyone to come home to your breath, come home to the safe haven of your divine Holy Spirit. It is your freedom, it is your joy, it is the beauty of the life that you are seeking and the dreams and of your creative divinity.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for so many beautiful goddess words of wisdom today. An amazing conversation today. Lots of gold nuggets here for everyone to take in, meditate with, and take it in and see how it resonates for you. What's true for you, because you get to decide. You are your own beautiful guide and guru, and we're here to support each other in this beautiful journey. So thank you so much, Kayla Ma, for being back on the show today. I really do appreciate you and your loving wisdom and generosity to come and share with our community today. And I will get the replay out hopefully over the weekend, but no later than Monday, so everyone can enjoy this and these powerful energies we just went through this week with the powerful supermoon in Aquarius and the 888 gateway. We're in powerful times. So we want to take advantage of this, as I encourage you to do. And I do encourage you to get in touch with Kayla Ma and have a session with her, have a conversation with her, and allow her to assist you on your journey of coming back into your wholeness, your fullness, your joy, and living your best life, your goddess life. So thank you, everyone. And until next time, be well, be safe, be blessed, and namaste. Until then, take good care.